We're here for our gentle restorative yoga blend. Today I'm going to be focused a little bit on the spine. Just trying to mobilize the spine different directions. The spine flexes and extends, it rotates, it goes side to side. So we'll be playing with some poses that help us explore all these different movements of the spine. None of these movements need to be extreme. They're not intended to be painful or hurtful. Just intended to increase mobility of the spine in whatever range is comfortable for you. We will be using whatever you've got as far as cushions, pillows, blankets, towels to bolster and pat ourselves as we go along some of the poses. And we'll be using our bodies for part of it. And we're going to start just seated comfortably. Take a moment to shift your weight from side to side and ground your sits bones into the floor. Stack the spine, draw the abs in, lift the sternum, press up through the crown of the head. Shrug the shoulders up, roll them back and down. We can just rest our hands on our thighs for the moment, palms up or palms down. We'll gently close the eyes, just bringing awareness to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's practice a three-part breath today. Inhale from the abdomen first, then the lower ribs and the upper ribs, and then exhale. Inhale in 1, 2, 3 parts, and exhale. Inhale from the lower, from the abdomen, the ribs, the upper ribs, and exhale. As you become more comfortable with the three-part breath, you can try to reverse it on the exhale. So when you inhale, starting with the abdomen, the lower ribs, the upper ribs, try to exhale from the upper ribs to the lower ribs and back down to the abdomen. It can be challenging. Inhale up, moving up the body. Exhale, moving back down the body. And the next time you finish a round of your three-part breath, return to normal breath. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Seal our lips. Moving into our Ujjayi breath, our ocean breath. That breath that is just audible to yourself. You can open the eyes. Let's start at the top of the spine, the neck. Just drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Offer the option to rest your hand on your head to add a little more resistance. Coming back to center, we'll drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, the option to just rest the hand on the head. And back to center, and dropping the chin to the chest, but lifting up the back of the skull. Keeping a nice length in the neck. Lifting the chin back up. Let's inhale again, pressing up through the crown of the head, and exhale to turn the head to the right. As you inhale, try to stack the neck even taller. As you exhale, you might find a little more range of motion. Relaxing back to center, inhaling tall, exhaling, turning the head to the left. And once again, using the inhale to press up through the crown of the head, using the exhale to find perhaps a bit more motion. Coming back to center. Let's take a cat-cow in our seated position. So we'll lift the chest and arch the back, extending the spine. You'll exhale, scoop the abs and curl in, flexing the spine. Inhaling to lift and extend. Exhaling to flex and scoop. Try to keep your awareness with your spine so you really feel that movement happening. In whatever range works for you, perhaps we're deepening the range as we move along. As we finish our next round, we'll come back to neutral. Let's try to push our ribs to the right and then push them back to the left. We'll just push the ribs from side to side. The next time we finish the left, come back to neutral. Let's try to combine that cat-cow with that side-to-side movement and circle our rib cage around. So we'll come into cow, we'll press the ribs to the right, we'll scoop into cat, we'll press the ribs to the left, we'll come back to cow. That's one time. Around through cat, slide the ribs, 2 times, shift, scoop, shift, come back to cow, hold it here. That's 3 times. Let's reverse direction. Pushing to the left, scooping into cat, pushing to the right, lifting into cow. Left, cat, right, cow. One more time. Circling the rib cage around. And now coming back to neutral, let's go ahead and switch the cross of our legs. Let's again rock the hips, ground the hip bones, stack the spine, pack the shoulders. Now we'll bring fingertips down to the floor. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let's inhale the right arm up and over. And exhale it back down. Inhale, lift and expand. Exhale down. Alternating, flowing the arms, inhaling and exhaling. Perhaps finding a little more range of motion in the side body. Couple more times. Then bring up the spine. Come back to fingertips. Let's just sweep our fingertips around us in a half circle. Bringing a little bit of rotation to the spine. Coming back to center. Now we'll bring the right hand behind the back and use it to prop ourselves up tall like it's a kickstand. Left hand to the right leg. Inhale tall, pressing up to the crown of the head. Exhale, take your twist to the right. With your inhale, try to find more length. With your exhale, you might find a little more range. Perhaps you'd like to look over your shoulder. Relaxing back to center. Let's sweep the left hand behind, stacking the spine tall, reaching the right hand over to the left thigh. Inhaling to lift and extend the spine, exhaling to take that gentle twist to the left this time. Inhaling again, pressing the crown of the head up toward the ceiling, exhaling to find perhaps a little more range. You may want to look over your shoulder. And relaxing back to center. Now let's come into a shoelace pose. Let's stack the left knee over the right knee. You might want to pull your heels back. Now, if this isn't comfortable for you, if this just doesn't work for you, keep with the crossed legs. You could still do this with crossed legs. You could also do this in a kneeling position, sitting back on your heels if you prefer. But the option is here to stack your knees, left over right. Let's inhale tall and exhale. Round over, reaching our arms out to the side, letting the head hang, rounding the back, and sinking the body weight forward, finding a nice gentle release in the spine, breathing and sinking, relaxing into it. Let's just stay here for a few breaths. And we'll slowly rise back up. And if you stacked your knees, we're going to switch the cross. Bringing the right knee over the left. Inhaling tall. Exhaling, rounding forward, reaching the arms out to the side. Letting the head hang. Softening the spine. Sinking forward. And breathing. Maybe 3 or 4 breaths here. And then slowly walking your hands in, sitting back up. Extending our legs out. And shake those legs out. Let's do a yin posture now. It's called caterpillar. It's like a forward fold. Again, it's going to build on that lengthening of the back that we did. That rounding and softening forward. You could just take this into a normal forward fold here. But you have some options. You can support your knees with a rolled up blanket if you like. This keeps the knees from locking out. You can also support the upper body with a cushion or bolster or pillow. And this could be either or you could use both if you like, or neither if you like. So let's find whatever gives us the most ease. If you're going to use a bolster here, you might want to stack your hands, resting forehead on the hands. Find some ease, relax into it. We're going to hang out here for a few minutes. So close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. And if you feel the need to make any adjustments as we go along, please feel free to go right ahead and do so. Let your shoulders melt. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Try to find ease in your legs. Relaxing your neck, relaxing your head. And deepening our breath, we begin to sit back up. Let's just bring our hands down and lift the chest for a moment. Our next pose is called Bananasana, and it's what it sounds like. We're going to curve our bodies like a banana. You don't necessarily need anything prop-wise for this pose. If there's something you'd like to use, perhaps to support your neck or head, you're welcome to use that, but I'm not going to demonstrate anything here because it's a fairly straightforward pose. I'm going to lie back to start. And if you're on a mat, let's bring our hands and feet to the four corners of our mat. If you're not on a mat, just imagine a mat. Make your body like an X. So let's cross the right ankle over the left ankle. So the right foot and left foot are both at the bottom left corner of the mat. Let's bring the right hand over to the left hand and interlace our fingers. So we're gently curved. We're pressing the right hip out a little bit perhaps and flexing to the left with both the upper and lower body. So we're curved like a banana. Relax into it, find your breath, and we'll stay here for 3 or 4 minutes. This is lateral flexion, opening up the right side body, but flexing the spine. If your eyes are closed, there's no need to open them. We're just going to float that right foot back over to the bottom right corner of the mat. And we'll float the right hand over to the top right corner of the mat. Now we'll bring the left ankle over the right ankle. We'll bring the left hand over to the right hand at the top right corner of the mat, interlacing our fingers. Perhaps shifting our hips a bit to the left, finding that nice banana shape. On the other side, opening the side body on the left, flexing the spine, relaxing here for 3 or 4 minutes. Now we're floating that left foot back over to the bottom left corner of our mat. We're floating our left hand back to the top left corner of the mat. Let's do a full body stretch while we're here. Just reaching out through fingers and toes in opposite directions. Inhaling to lift the rib cage, extending the spine, lengthening the whole body. Exhaling to relax. Inhale, reaching out. Exhaling to relax. One more time, big inhale, lengthen and reach out, full body stretch, and relax. Now drawing the knees into the chest, we'll hug the thighs. Let's rock the back out a little bit here. Let's drop our feet and roll to one side. And gently press ourselves up. We're going to move next into a restorative child's pose. And there's lots of tricks we can use for this one. I'm partial to placing rolled up towels under my ankles. Remember, we'll be in a restorative pose for several minutes, and sitting back on those ankles locked out might feel okay for a short time, but it might become uncomfortable the longer you sit on them. Toes together, knees wide. Now it's also helpful sometimes to roll up a blanket to place behind the knees, so we're not crunching the knee joints for a long time. And then we'll want something, perhaps, if we wish, something to rest on when we come forward. You bring that right in between your knees. Now here, we're not so much looking to round the spine as to lengthen the spine. So try to find length in the spine. Hands can be stacked with your forehead on your hands, or with your head turned, or you can bring your arms forward if you like. Perhaps just resting your elbows on the floor. If you choose to turn your head, don't worry. In about 3 or 4 minutes, I'll instruct you to turn your head the other direction. Feel free to close your eyes. Try to find that length in your spine. Try to feel your hips sinking back and down, gently tractioning the lower back. If your head is turned to one side, now's a good time to turn it to the other side. Deepening our breath. Walking our hands in, sitting up. Let's put our props aside for a moment. Come onto all fours with our hips over our knees. We'll slide our hands forward, coming into a puppy pose. Just for a couple of breaths. Just extending the spine. On our way to thread the needle. So taking the right hand, reaching under the left arm, trying to bring that right shoulder down to the mat, perhaps resting the right temple on the mat, sinking the hips back, and just breathing here. We'll just take a few breaths here. Now bringing that right arm forward once more, coming back to puppy pose, lengthening the spine. This time taking the left arm under the right arm, bringing the left shoulder down, resting the left temple, threading the needle. Coming back to the breath. Now bringing the left arm forward again, back to puppy. And from here, sliding forward onto our forearms, letting our hips melt down, moving into Sphinx pose. We can have parallel forearms. We can interlace our fingers if we like. Hips are sinking. Abdominals are relaxed, lower back is relaxed. We're lifting the front body. We have an option here. Take a cushion or pillow or blanket and place it under our ribs for a little support to help us stay here a little longer in our Sphinx pose. Think about lifting the chest, shining the heart forward. Grounding into the elbows. Relaxing the abdominals, relaxing the lower back. Couple more breaths here. Now extending our arms, perhaps opening our arms a little wider, getting into seal pose, just for a couple of breaths. And relaxing. Let's bring ourselves back up to hands and knees. We can put our blanket aside if we use the blanket, but we do need a bolster for our next pose, our supported supine twist. So let's come and sit beside the bolster and drop our hips to the floor. Inhaling tall, we'll exhale and turn toward the bolster. With each inhale, we try to find that length in the spine that we're always working on. With the exhale, we might deepen the twist and lower ourselves down onto the bolster. Your head can face down and can turn to either side. The legs can just be relaxed. If you want to do the deer legs we practiced a couple weeks ago, you could stack your knees with a right angle bend at your hips and knees, and then bring that top leg back until your top knee is at your bottom leg heel. And we'll just settle in here. Getting a nice, gentle twist of the spine. Let's think about our sinking breath. And as we exhale, sinking deeper into the bolster, perhaps finding a little more twist. Bringing our hands down to the floor, pressing ourselves up. We can come to hands and knees, straddling the bolster, and then shift to the other side, dropping the hip. Inhaling to lengthen the spine, exhaling to turn. Inhale, extend the spine, exhale, folding down onto the bolster. Feeling free to stack your hands, rest the forehead, and turn the head. Again, you can just relax the legs. You can come to those right angle bends in the knees and hips. You can slide the top leg back. The deer legs. With the knee of the top leg touching the heel of the bottom leg. relax and breathe. Sink deeper into the twist as you exhale. Bringing our hands back out to the floor, we can press ourselves up. Today for our final relaxation, I'm offering a supported fish pose, a yin posture, for which you could use a blanket to support your knees if you like. You can cross your legs, or you can do Baddha Konasana legs, round ankle pose. Legs can be straight. You can do a regular Shavasana if you like without any props or with bolsters under your knees or your neck or your lower back. Lots of options here. What I'm going to do is supported fish. Just want to make sure that when I lie back on my bolster, my head is supported and the bolster or cushion comes to my lower ribs so my hips can stay down. I also like to put a rolled up blanket under my knees for comfort. Arms can be at your side, palms up. You can reach out. If you want more sensation, those arms can come overhead. Find whatever works for you. We're going to close our eyes here. Let's just check in with our bodies and make sure everything feels supported and grounded. We don't want any effort here. We just want to feel relaxed. If anything needs an extra blanket or towel to support it or brace it, maybe under your arms, that's fine. Just add whatever you like. Find as much relaxation as possible. Just feel the weight of the body sinking down into the floor, into the bolster or cushions. Try to release any tension in your forehead or around your eyes. Relax the jaw. Soften the neck. Ground the shoulders down. Let the arms be loose. The abdominals just sink into the torso. The hips ground into the floor. The thighs are relaxed. The knees are soft. Calves and ankles are relaxed. And the feet just fall out to the side. And so we bring our awareness once again back to the breath, just to observe it, to focus on that. Let go of any stray thoughts and follow that breath into your relaxation. can remain in our final relaxation pose for as long as we like. Whenever we're ready, we can bring movement to our fingers and toes. We can circle our wrists and ankles in one direction, reverse directions. We can bend our knees and plant our feet a little wider than our hips. Let the knees sway from side to side, rising and falling. And then we can roll to one side, slide off the bolster onto the floor, perhaps pushing that bolster out of the way. Resting the head on the arm, stacking one hip over the other, stacking one shoulder over the other. Staying in our breath. And then with as much ease as possible, pressing ourselves up to a comfortable seated position. Once again, rounding the hip bones, stacking the spine, rolling the shoulders back. And bringing your hands to heart center. Hope you found some nice movement in your spine today. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. Namaste.